Okay, how you doing, everybody? Welcome to my channel. This is You Too Can Be Crazy. This is the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, season 2, episode 6. Sex, Lies, and Sister Wives review. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Last episode ended with Lisa and Whitney trying to make up their friendship, build this fake friendship. It's already been a week, and Lisa's now trying to spend more time with Wendy. But Lisa always has a motive behind her behavior. She has gone to dinner with Whitney. She's now going to this trapeze thing where they got to spread their legs and learn how to be flexible and trying to create this friendship that's not meant to be bullshit. So they're out. And then we have enjoying themselves. Then we have the next segment with Mary and Grandpa Robert Sr., who's now back at home after this whole COVID situation. And she's tired already of his damn presence. Every time they show Mary, she looks miserable. Every time they show her, she just looks miserable. She looks like the life she has is not the one that she wants. She likes the glitz, the glams, and everything, but it doesn't seem like she's enjoying all of that, even with the money. Like, the money's not enough to make you happy, okay? But he's here, he's cooking. She's saying they hardly know each other, even though they've been married for a long time and they have this kid. She said that how could he not know that she only likes long grain rice when he's using short rice. And I'm just like, I don't understand this union at all. I don't understand them. Besides this kid, you guys had to keep you guys together. When he leaves the house, Mary, I know, is wondering, like, what the fuck are y'all gonna do? You don't sleep on the same bed. Y'all don't talk. You don't have the same, you don't like the same things. He's old as hell. I mean, Mary, you need to talk to Robert and consider having an open relationship so you can start getting it in. Because I don't think you enjoy your life with just him in the house. You don't have anything to occupy your time, girl. You look bored every time, or you have an issue every time, or you're trying to fake happiness every time. I don't know. Mary's joy, it doesn't come off as joy to me on the screen. Then we have Lisa, Jenny, and Meredith going to have some fish eat their feet in the spa place. And Jenny basically lets them know what her marital problem is right now. She has been pregnant 13 times. Out of that 13 times, she's had stillbirth. She had a baby girl that was born and died. She's lost the baby at 42 weeks. And out of the 13 pregnancies, only 3 survived. So she got 10 that just didn't work out. And she could make it to the first trimester, second trimester, sometimes third trimester, even after birth. And she would have to just sit there and have to deal with that pain every time. 10 times of losing a kid is a whole lot. I lost one barely at the first trimester. And I was like, oh my God, am I going to do this? And I freaked out. She lost 10, and some of them were actually born. Stillbirth. One born had to sit there and try to resuscitate the baby girl. She didn't have a heartbeat. She was born, she had a heartbeat, and then they're trying to, it was too much. And this man is sitting here now that she's even older, after all that, now saying, I want you to have another one. The fuck? So she's telling Meredith and Lisa about this, and you can see the pain in her eyes. I just feel so bad for her. Like, why are we even talking about this, considering everything it's like reopening the same wound. But Meredith does what I would do. Meredith tells her to go ahead and go see a counselor with her husband. But I don't think that Meredith understands that some cultures, counseling may not be enough, because I'm listening to her husband talk at the end of the show, which I'll talk about. That ain't gonna work. Then we have Jen out shopping for jewelry at her scene. Is just not unnecessary. She wants to buy the most expensive gift she can find because that's her way of showing her love to the friends that she got to apologize for. Let me buy you something expensive because this is my way of apologizing. And that type of love is disingenuous. It's fragile. It's going to break. Then we have Heather in her segment saying that this is her first time talking to her daughters about sex, and you could just see the discomfort in her face. I'm like, everything about that she has is always coming back to Mormonism. We don't talk about sex. We don't do. I said, girl, get a condom. Tell these girls to put some water in that condom after they're done doing what they're doing. If it leaks, go down to the drugstore and buy a Plan B. Take it. Within 24 hours, I know it say 24 to 72 hours, take it the first 24 hours and make sure your ass don't get pregnant. But as she's talking to this girl, it's like watching a mother talk to a 2-year-old about the birds and the bees. And it's just so uncomfortable. She made me uncomfortable watching it on the screen. Then we have Whitney and her husband in the next segment meeting up with Lisa and her husband to go to a restaurant owned by Aubrey and Marco, the same catering company that snubbed Angie on her party, saying in the text that it's because Lisa had told him what happened. So while Lisa's trying to build this friendship with Wendy, she's going to take Whitney to the restaurant of the people that snubbed her cousin, whatever, twice removed, all that stuff in her party for what Lisa did. And she's taking her friend there. Why? it's very calculating the way that Lisa moves. Because while they're eating, Aubrey comes up and she decides to now bring us some food. And in the midst of that, while Whitney's there, brings up the conversation like, okay, so I don't know why Angie's behaving this way, because we can't even leave this restaurant on Fridays. Well, bitch, why didn't you say that? Instead, you said in the text message that Lisa has something to do with it when her assistant called you. So why the fuck are you sitting here now backpedaling in front of Wendy? Does Lisa think that Whitney's so dumb that Whitney's going to listen to this bullshit setup meeting and then go back to Aubrey and say, Aubrey, this is what I heard. And then Lisa's going to come back in and say, oh, it's what you heard? I wanted to tell you the truth. I was innocent. I didn't try to do nothing wrong. I wasn't being shady. Lisa is calculating. Oh my God. Every time she does something, I cannot tell. Lisa is one of those human beings that cannot tell when she's being sincere and when she's being fake. I can't tell when something she's doing is coming from the heart, because it's like she has 2-3 steps ahead. You didn't spend the whole week with Whitney, ate dinner with her, went to trapeze thing with her, hung out with her a couple days ago, told people you guys are like besties now, and then you're going to take her out to lunch at the same restaurant with people that snubbed her relative, the relative you used to be friends with and now don't want to be friends with you, and have this bitch come up to her face and try to bring up the topic that, what the hell? Why would she even bring that shit up in front of Whitney in the first place? Why wouldn't Aubrey talk to Lisa about it privately? Why is this moment the perfect moment to do it? Lisa, I don't trust you. I would never trust you, because whenever this situation just seems so well done. You spent a great deal of time with Whitney this week, in a span of a week, only for you to get to this point. You knew what the fuck you were doing, and Whitney saw through that instantly. So I'm sitting here like, Whitney, you better read this bitch and then get off that table and go, because she fake. She ain't never gonna be your friend. Then we have Jenny and her husband on a snow ski date. And while they're enjoying themselves, and it seems like they could have fun together, they sit down and they're just supposed to be, enjoying each other's company. He basically commends her as a mother, saying that their kids are wonderful, they have a good life, and she's a great mother. I was like, he's gassing her up for something. Then he follows it up with, that's why I think we should have more kids. Then he says, this world has a lot of bad people. We need to populate it with more good kids. That bullshit didn't work, because we didn't have a lot of good people on this earth, and your kids, no matter how many you have, are not going to be enough to populate all this earth with good people. So that's bullshit. Then he says, I just think that we can grow a bigger family. And of course, she's thrown it back, and she basically breaks it down to him like, do you understand the mental part of it that goes along with me even being pregnant in the first place? We don't know if the baby's going to be healthy with me being older and having gone through all those traumatic events. Then he suggests a surrogate, and she's like, I'm old. Do I want to be chasing kids when I got my kids grown? Do I want to be chasing a toddler, getting up, breastfeeding, doing all that shit? I have passed that time in my life. Then he says, so adoption is out of the question, because we can't even adopt, because that means you still have to take care of this baby. She said, no. This motherfucker said, what about a sister wife? I was floored. I don't know. I think if my husband ever said that to me, it would have been a reflex action. And I'd be like, let's have a sister wife. I would have slapped him before the wife syllable came out of his mouth. Like, it would have been like a quick pop in the face. How dare you? We are not that comfortable for you to even make that suggestion. You want me to sit there in the house where you want to fuck another woman just so she can get pregnant with another child because you want that baby that bad? Bye. But you have 3. It's not like you have only 1 and 2. You have 3. She gave you 3. And she tried 13 times. She made an effort. The fuck? Like 10 miscarriages? No, that's an effort. She tried, okay? Then he lets her know that he does have a bit of a hole in his heart from the daughter that they lost. They had this baby. She carried the baby to term. The baby was born, had the heartbeat fine. Next thing you know, she's dying. And everything they said she was healthy and stuff like that. So that is something that they had to go through. And he did express that it's a hole in his heart. But just because it's a hole in your heart, you have to understand that things happen for a reason. And what you're asking your wife to do is make a sacrifice that you yourself would not make. Well, which can she go while you over there having sex with your sister wife trying to knock her up? Can she have a sister husband? Because if you say she can, then I would agree with you. You can go and get yourself as many sister wives as you want. Jenny is beautiful. Go find you a sister husband and have your fun. And if that one knocks you up, except for this one, then he's going to have to just eat it. right? Because he's like, my father had 4 wives, and Jeannie says that in their culture that it's okay for the men to have girlfriends and that's normal. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck what the culture says. When we had our vows, it's for better or worse. This is the worst scenario. You're gonna have to just figure out how to do with it. But I'm not gonna sit up here and stay at home while you go and have me share you with somebody just so you can have this baby that I already tried 13 times to make. Fuck out of here. But Jeannie is my spirit animal because she's like, if murder was not a felony, I would kill this motherfucker. And she got up angry. She's like, I don't even want to talk to you right now. And she left. And that's how this episode ended. And I was just like, I was sitting up there like, I don't know what goes on in some of these men's head. Like, you just say it. Like, you just say it and you don't know how stupid or how crazy what's coming out your lips are. Like, you just say it like it's just normal. Well, let's just get a sister wife. You know, I'm going to have sex with her just so I can have all the kids I want. And they're going to get along just fine. Bye. So that was this episode. Let me know what you think. Is Lisa really trying to set Whitney up? I think is a yes. Is Lisa fake as hell? I think is a yes. Is Jeannie going to have to figure out how to get her husband in line? Because I don't think he's going to let this go. Yes. Because he's actually talking about getting another wife in the house. That's how desperate he is. Girl, you better give up something. If you can't have it, you better try the surrogate or the adoption, because he's going, or just prepare to have a divorce, because this is a whole level of crazy to me. I don't think that he has an ounce of compassion for you after 13 pregnancies. He don't care. It's all about him and what he wants and what to make him happy. And girl, you were just collateral damage, you and your body. Okay? All right. You guys have a good rest of your day. Go check out Potomac and let me know what you guys think. Bye.